This is my 2019 Ninja H2 SX, and today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons to me personally after owning this bike for about a year. Pros that I like personally from this bike is that even though it has a slip-on and it's loud, it still has a valve inside the exhaust system. Whenever I'm cruising, it shuts it and it makes it super quiet, but whenever I'm getting on it and I don't want it to scream, then it'll open up. The other pros that I like from this bike is that it has side lights. These lights right here, there's 3 of them, and whenever you're leaning to go into a bend, it helps illuminate the floor in front of you that you're going to be curving into. So that is a really good touch for night rides. The other thing that I like is that back here on this chain, if you want to tighten your chain, all you have to do is come back here, have a little hook tool, and just rotate this little disc back here, and that'll shift the whole wheel back, tightening your chain. So doing maintenance on this is super easy, and I do it myself. I actually have a video on that I previously posted, so if you want to check that out, I'll have that linked somewhere in this video. This is the key for it. It's a really nice detailed key from Kawasaki. You have the H2 logo on there. Nice materials on it compared to other keys. Doesn't feel cheap or anything. Now we're going to talk about the features of the bike on the handlebars. So this one has a clutch fluid reservoir. Unlike most bikes that have a cable for your clutch, this one's different, so it has that. It also has bar warmers, cruise control, and different preload settings. Since this does have electronic suspension, if you have 2 people on here, it'll slightly raise up the rear to accommodate for that second person, as well as another mode for if you have the bags on it as well, then it'll accommodate for that extra weight. I'll turn that on and show you. It's kind of finicky. The only downside that I don't like to that key is that I feel like they purposely made it a little bit too long. So when you go to fill up your tank, a good amount of the key is still sticking out. So when you go to open it, it slightly bends the key a little bit, and it makes it a hassle to get it back in the slot. So what I do is I put it back in here, just turn it the other way slightly so that it's bent and perfectly straight again, because over time you will notice that key will start to shift a little bit. Horns down here, hazards are right here, turn signals, your high beams right here, different icons that'll show up all around here. The custom rider mode right here, this one has different power settings that I can choose to whatever riding style I like. If I go up, it goes into rain mode. If I go up again, it goes into road, and then the last one is sport mode. But sport mode and the custom mode that I set is pretty much around the same. I do believe the one that I set is a little bit better though, so that's why I keep it on that one. And in order to get rid of this so that you can see your temperatures, you just hold the reset button. But you have your clock right there, you have your boost gauge here, so when you're riding you'll see the boost go up at certain RPMs. The boost normally kicks in at around 4,000. And then you have a throttle gauge. You can change this screen entirely as well, but I just like this screen. So whenever I turn this throttle, you'll see right there that it'll start moving. So it's a cool little touch that I like. You can also have the opposite where it shows you how far in your brake is, just to get a feel of like where your braking point is from locking and not applying enough brakes to stop fast enough. But starters right here, your mode selects right here. If you want to do launch control, it's kind of hitting in the manual, but you hold up on mode and you hold down on this one as well, and then you'll be in that launch control mode, the mode, and then this other button down here at the same time, and then you'll see that come on. That's your launch control. So now that when I hold the throttle open, it'll lock it at around 5,000, I believe. Let's see. Never mind. A lot higher than I expected. So it locks it around $7,000 to get ready for launch control, and as long as you hold that the entire time, it'll stay right there. And then when you're ready to launch, pretty much you can do it one of 2 ways. You can entirely drop the clutch, or you can slowly drop the clutch. From what I read in the manual, it says to drop the clutch because the ECU controls everything else, that it'll put the power down for you. I did have one incident though where my tires were too cold and I had the whole bike just spin and throw me right off. So kind of take that how you will. Definitely make sure your tires are warm. But it's nice having that launch control. I personally think you can get a better launch without it, but just play around with it, see how you feel with it, and you make the decision on if you want to use it or not. That's pretty much it. That's all the controls here. You have a power outlet back here as well in case you have your phone mounted. You could just buy a little car adapter, 12 volt, plug that in, plug in your phone, and yeah, go on long distances if you really want to. I've gone on pretty good distances on this bike, and it does pretty good on gas. It definitely chews up gas on in-town riding for sure. But I mean, that's kind of with any vehicle. If you're going to be going fast in a short distance and stopping fast in town, then you're going to eat up your gas. But for long distance rides, it does pretty damn well for what it is, for having a supercharger. And also with that, you do get the wider touring bike look in the front from the driver's side. Definitely, if you go to the other side, you will definitely see that it is quite large as well compared to most bikes, but it isn't that bad to where you're not going to be able to filter. I've been able to filter with this bike pretty much all the time. There's been cases where I had to fold the mirrors in, but still be able to get through. It does come with ABS as well, Brembo brakes, and yeah, it's pretty much all of it in its glory. You got projector headlights, your intake's right here, comes around the side, goes down in there. Yeah, now let's get a ride and show you how it drives. I love it. This bike puts a smile on my face every day that I ride it. For this bike being 570 in weight, when you're rolling, you don't feel it. Like, it is balanced so well that you can really curve up on this bike, even though it is a sport tourer. Overall, a fun bike. Real fun bike. Still extremely fast. Still very agile for its weight and for it being a touring bike. So, yeah, that's the pros that I have on it. I honestly really enjoy this bike. It also has quick shifting up and down, so that's another nice little feature for it. The ride height on this bike is about the same as a Ninja 650. I'm 5'8", and I'm able to bring my feet all the way down and touch the floor on both sides. I like that it's not entirely hunched over or entirely upright. It's a little bit in between, so you're not going to be hurting as bad on longer rides. Maintenance is pretty easy on this bike. The only thing is there's some items that you may have to take it in for to Kawasaki, and expect to pay high prices just because it is an H2. For example, this mirror on the H2, I messed it up. They want $300 for one of those mirrors. The entire assembly with the cable attached for the turning signal and everything, which is pretty wild that they want $300 for one mirror. That's the other thing that you got to take into account when owning an H2, is how expensive everything's going to be if you mess it up. I have tried looking for aftermarket parts, but everything's kind of cheap. And I tried looking at regular H2 replacements, and I was able to find some, but the regular H2 has a entirely different mirror to it as well. Like, it's a lot lower profile and smaller. This bike is very rare to come across, at least in my town for sure. So every time I end up seeing other bikers and stuff, they're like, what, that's an H2? That's wild, man. I've never seen one of those in person. So just expect getting a lot of that too. That's pretty much it. I don't have anything negative to say about the H2. The common question that I get from people is if it overheats. I've personally never had it overheat. I wonder if that's just a normal H2 problem. But if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more vlogging content, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll try to make some more when I can.